A bipartisan group of advocates for war reparations announced today that they will be forming a nonprofit organization to file a lawsuit against the federal government. Here's more. A bipartisan advocacy group for war reparations announced today that they will be suing the federal government. The group is led by Senator Frank Blas Jr. and includes fellow Republicans like Senator Jim Espaldon, Senator Tony Ada, former Lieutenant Governor Frank Blas Sr., former Governor Felix Camacho, and former Governor Joseph Ada, who is not present today. The group also includes Democrats like Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes, former Interior Assistant Secretary Tony Babauta, Democratic Party Chair Ken Perez, and Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz and Joe T. San Augustine, who were both not present today.
What you see here is a group that was formed after many months of discussions so that we can file suit against the federal government for war claims for our living survivors.
Aside from the Aleutian Islands, Guam was the only place of American soil that was occupied by enemy forces during World War II. Many natives of Guam suffered under the two-year Japanese rule. Former Special Counsel for the U.S. Department of Justice, Juan Benitez.
The war reparations provided to the citizens of Guam was less than what was provided to the other war survivors of that war. And that was determined to be completely unfair.
The chairman of the Foreign Claims Settlement Commission at that time was Mauricio Tamargo, who has now agreed to take this case along with fellow D.C. attorneys Jason Pobletti and Jeremy Ibrahim.
Congress and the President have provided funding for other causes of action. One specifically was the Holocaust survivors and the reparations to the tune of $4 million for each of the Americans who were held hostage in Iran back in 1979.
They're not slowly passing away, they're passing away. It's a reality. What would it take for us here in Guam to be recognized as, not as equals, but to be recognized that we've gone through this calamity called a war, world war?
The effort of war claims and seeking justice has never been about money. It's always been about recognition.
The children should never give up for what is rightfully owing to the greatest generation that ever lived, to our parents and grandparents, that we never forget that the freedoms we have today is because of the sufferings and the atrocities that they had to go through.
The group says the lawsuit will be privately funded. They hope to file the suit in Washington, D.C. before the end of this year.